Before I proceed to ask my questions, I would like to emphatically state that these questions were not given to me by anyone. They are from my head, so I'm going to ask. Now, Mr. Vice President, my name is Kwadwo Sheldon, and I represent Kwadwo Sheldon Studios. The first one is our 322 pharmaceutical doctors on social media right now are planning on suing the health ministry about unpaid allowances. Now, for someone that has highlighted in your manifesto that when voted into power, you are going to improve or help improve the condition of services when it comes to conditions of service, when it comes to our health people. For right now that you are the Vice President, what can you do to help these pharmaceutical doctors who are contemplating on suing the Ministry of Health? My second question borders. Please tell us. Please tell us. The question is. One question. So my question, the second question is about perception. The perception is very, very important. I'll come to you. We'll come back.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Nana Yakesi. I work with PCF. You have promised abolishing bed tax, e-levy, flat import duty, one-time tax amnesty, among others. If you really believe that that is what Ghana needs, why should we wait till you become the president and not implement it now?
To go to this, I see something like
Good evening, Your Excellency. So, my question is coming from a group of students on scholarship abroad. They are concerned that the scholarship secretariat is not doing what it has to do for them. At page 27 of your manifesto, you speak about harmonizing public scholarships. And there's a purpose for it. You say the purpose is to give full visibility. Beyond the visibility, what will you do about this now and not later? There are some of them, for 20 months, they have not received their stipends. In a number of universities in the UK, in Warwick, Coventry, Nottingham, they are under threat of losing their studentship. In Birmingham, 11 of them have already been withdrawn and they are facing deportation. Will you inquire, particularly knowing about the Fourth Estate's investigations, that scholarship bonanza, about what appears to be a racketeering in that place? And will you forbid and prohibit politically exposed persons worthy enough, known in society, from accessing these scholarships? Thank you.
I think the question is very well. After that, you go to the regions. We don't play in Accra, Western North. Please, in the microphone to the Western North guy. We've done Eastern, we do Western North, we'll do the other regions as well.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Esposito Inokedusei. I work with the Beat FM. Somewhere in last year, the former President Mahama on his campaign tour in Western North region claimed Cocoa Board is on the verge of collapse. Do you believe Cocoa Board has collapsed? And what is your plans for Cocoa Board? I don't want to go deep. Thank you.
Thank you. Sabi, you are fair.
Excellency, good evening. Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Yafa. I work with CTFM and Channel 1 TV. So a few meters away from us is the site for the construction of the National Cathedral. We know huge sums of money have been sunk into the project. What will you do about it if or when you become president of this country? Thank you very much.
Excellency, please take these questions ahead.
Thousand have exited into permanent jobs under NAPO, and others are still. But I think that the issue that Bella raises is the arrears and how we are going to deal with it. I've raised this issue because this is not really, there's some information that has come to me already about the arrears in the NAPCO program, and I've raised this issue with the Minister for Finance and trying to persuade them to make these arrears payments. So we will follow that up on behalf of the NAPCO employees. The second issue has to do with providing better healthcare in the manifesto and the issue of cars and how these will affect local companies. I think that what is very clear when you look at the manifesto is that we did not really say it was only for imported. The incentives would only be for imported vehicles because you just said you provide incentives. Clearly under President Kwadwo, there were incentives for healthcare workers and also for teachers to bring in vehicles and they will waive the import duty, and that basically worked but was abused. We think that with digitalization and the unique identity of people, we can better monitor the situation. But the issue is that we need to be able to see how these teachers and these nurses could also acquire with the necessary incentives from the local manufacturing companies. I mean, as you know, the numbers of teachers and nurses are very, very large relative to the production capacity of some of the firms here. But we are leaving that open to discuss with them and with the manufacturing companies here to see how we can incentivize. Our preference clearly is to buy local. And so we will work with them to see how best, if they can meet the terms in terms of production on time and all of that. I think we will try to incentivize them. But we will leave it open for discussion, and that's what we've done. The other issue was that we wanted to do these tax reforms, import duty, flat tax, tax amnesty, and so on. Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto, otherwise if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office? I mean, how can you do everything now? Even President Mahama, former president, who was president, I'm only vice president, but he was president. Why didn't he do everything then? Why is he coming back? He had full authority. I don't have full authority. The budget that has gone to Parliament, which has been passed, is not my budget. Is it my budget? No, it's not my budget. The budget goes in the name of the president. It doesn't go in the name of the vice president. But when you have to think about what new do you want to do, you come up with new ideas. And I've come up with new ideas which I want to do when we come into office. Everyone who's running for office, whether you are Kamala Harris or you are Bawumia, you will still have to think about what you have to do when you get into office. And this is why I'm presenting my new ideas what to do. Samson talked about the scholarship students and all of that, and I think this is a very, very important issue. There's nothing more heart-wrenching than taking a student abroad and not being able to take care of them in those circumstances. And I think that I believe, and this is what we are saying, that one needs to, first of all, harmonize these databases so that you have full visibility and transparency. And also, we have undertaken in the manifesto to publish all the beneficiaries of all of these scholarships as they come, so that everybody knows who is getting the scholarships and so on. And again, I've been made very aware of this issue. It's not new, because students have even, and parents have gotten in touch with me about the awards and the scholarships and so on. So we're talking with the Ministry of Finance and the Scholarship Secretariat. I think they were able to make some payments to some of the UK students and so on. But we will follow up on that because it's very urgent. Cocoa Board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not. I don't know where the data is coming from. Then the National Cathedral. National Cathedral, again, is a very, very important issue because taxpayers' money has gone into it, and many people would like to see it completed. And I believe that one should have an engagement with the churches and all the stakeholders for us to see how best to get the funding to complete the project. But I think that we need to sit down and talk if the design has to be looked at again to make sure it can be completed. We have to put everything on the table. But I will be minded more by the churches and the church leaders and the discussions that we should have with them on the way forward. But I think it's an important issue. Thank you.
The sports fraternity, so the PFM, UFM sports. Your Excellency, there was a question about the pharmacy staff and the arrears. If you can clear that one, then.
Yes, the pharmacists are my very good friends. But you're talking about 322 pharmaceutical doctors who are threatening to sue the Ministry of Health for their allowances. Again, I want to take this one up, and this is the first time I'm hearing about this particular issue. I think it is Sheldon who raised it. I'm not aware of it, but I think it's an important issue that we should really resolve. So we'll talk to the Ministry of Health and Finance. Thank you very much.
We'll take Kankambo's question.
Attention to the sad issue of the national amputee team. They apparently won the African Amputee Championship. They are owed per diems and bonuses and have not been paid. And they feel very neglected. And we all know that the strength of every nation is determined by how well they treat the vulnerable in society. In your manifesto, you talk about building 6 new stadiums in the 6 new regions. Currently, we have 5 major national stadiums, and only one, that's the Kumasi Sports Stadium, is fit enough to host a FIFA or CAF organized senior national team game. So I want to know what motivated that decision,
And since we are even struggling to maintain 5, how well can we do if we have 11? Thank you.
Thank you, Kankambodu. We'll do. So, give the microphone to Ahimi, please. It's right there. Please give the microphone to her. From the Ashanti region.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Ahimi Agazwa, Sumpati Sumpari Lukumasi.
Yawa.
In your manifesto, page 24C, you did mention something about flat rate. So let's say somebody import car engines and somebody second-hand clothing. Are they going to pay the same amount? I think we need better and further particulars. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ahimi. So, that's it.
I won't cry. You made a promise to teachers and you give them the opportunity of having cars. You know our minimum wage and where it stands. The private quality view it to 18.4446.
14 key promises in your manifesto, but none of them were apportioned timelines on it. So how can you hold you accountable if not? Because it seems to become mere political rhetorics. Thank you.
Okay.
2024, a dollar to a cedi is 15 Ghana cedis. About 15 Ghana cedis. Okay, over 15 Ghana cedis, thank you. How do I explain this to my mother, a cocoa seller, that in 2014, the fundamentals were weak. In 2024, where a dollar is now 15 cedis, the fundamentals are not weak, but the prices of goods and services are high today. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. No. Yes, let Abra come and then you come. I want to hear more of the ladies.
Maybe I'm sure your friend Abra Kukwa, Ahini, Wadu TV, and Yatum FM. Now, Masabisa, yes, Babuka, Kapaka Didika. Maybe I'm sure I share Dr. Bawumia, Nancy say for Friday at the home, Etia Galamsey. I had the so one of Comache and watching so. A from planes 2016 MPP share for football. And some of the bridge ever to a from soon so. The person who knows what she could do, what sports stadium so. The person who may be at the piano, a war as at now with us. I would like my question to be answered in truth, but I'll ask it in English. I just want to know, say, in the first 100 days, if Ghanaians decide to vote for you, what would be the things you would want to tackle first?
Thank you. Let's take the responses and then we'll come back to